I'm not gonna lie. At least one thing is for sure that we can't see Stephanie. Like Stephanie can't do it again. Like I made a video on this. When did it come out? When did this video come out? I think the video came out 2 days ago. 2 nights ago? So 2 nights ago, I made a video titled Stephanie White needs to stop doing this with Caitlin Clark. And as you guys can see, 37 more subscribers than I have now. 37 more. If you guys don't know, I went up to 3 subscribers off 61.2k, and we've lost 8. We've gained some, and we went back down to this, and we went up, and we went down. I've lost over 200 subscribers in the last 5 days. But I made a video talking about this 3 days ago. Or 2 days ago, Jesus. And it is talking about how Stephanie White needs to stop taking off Caitlin for defense. And if you guys didn't see yesterday, even after Caitlin missed the free throws, when she got pulled out of that game, for defense, Stephanie White comes out of the game. Caitlin Clark came out of that game arguing with Stephanie. Caitlin Clark, 2 possessions previously, in the biggest defensive possession of the year, locked up Chelsea Gray, got switched on to Jackie Young, locked up Jackie Young, and then locked up Aja Wilson on the perimeter and got called for a nonsense foul, stopping Aja Wilson getting to the basket. Perfect defense. Caitlin Clark also got a pick 6 on Aja Wilson to win the game. She was the best defensive player on the Indiana Fever. Yesterday down the stretch. And she got pulled. And what happens, every single time Caitlin Clark gets pulled for defensive reasons, they concede. The only positive I can really take out of this game is that if Steph continues to do this, you can put on the tinfoil hat for sabotage. They concede 80% of the time they sub off Caitlin Clark. Not only that. Do you know, with the Fever up by 2 points or more since Stephanie White has been coaching down the stretch, the Fever have conceded every single time Caitlin has been subbed off for defense. Sorry, up by 1 point or more. Up by 1 point or more, or tied. I can't. I'm wrong with this. There was a stat that we had last year. I think it was a tie game or up. And the Fever need a stop. They conceded every single time. And off the top of my head, they have conceded. I actually think they got 1 stop today when they were up 2. And then they conceded when they were up 3. But I think it was something like last year, if it was a tie game where they just needed a stop or they were up, they conceded every single possession. They subbed Caitlin Clark off for defense. I think this year, they were up 3 against Chicago Sky and conceded a 3. If nothing else, Caitlin Clark would have been smart enough to foul Jackie Young. If nothing else, she would have been smart enough to foul her. She would have been smart enough to foul Jackie. Whereas Lexi just wasn't. She was clueless. She had no idea. And it's a bad sign for the Indiana Fever. This is not me pretending that Caitlin Clark is some exceptional defender. This is not me pretending that Caitlin is this brilliant defender or anything. It is really bad for Amber Cox and Kelly Krauskopf that Caitlin Clark is the best perimeter defender on this team. Caitlin is the best perimeter defender on this team, and it's not by an insignificant amount. We saw when Olivia Miles down the stretch got Caitlin Clark on an island, and she couldn't do anything. We saw Jackie Young today. We saw what Aja Wilson did yesterday. She is the best perimeter defender on this team when she fully locks in. You can talk about, for me, the offensive load is too much. You're never going to get full lock-in on defense. It happens. She's not prime LeBron James. She's not, even Shea guards the worst player on the other team. But when it's time to lock in, Shea locks in. I'm not saying she's a Shea level defender. But what I'm saying is that she is she's a 7 out of 10 defender when she locks in. The Fever doesn't have another perimeter defender above a 5 out of 10. I think Raven will eventually be that. She's not right now. She's too foul prone. She's too kind of frantic with everything. She's just not that right now. I think she will be, if she's not traded by then. The Indiana Fever, if anything, people are saying they take Caitlin Clark out of games for defense to make her look bad. If anything, it's making Caitlin look good because they keep conceding. The Indiana Fever are like 5 points per 100 possessions better on defense with Caitlin Clark on the floor. I don't think people truly understand. She has been statistically the best perimeter defender on this team. On this team, she's been their best perimeter defender. And even if you want to say, oh, she's not brilliant, I agree with that. She's a better defender than Sophie Cunningham. She's a better defender than Lexi Hull. Someone said they don't trust she won't foul. You want her to foul. You're up 3. You want her to foul. Like, fouling was the best thing. If nothing else, that last possession with Aja Wilson, where she grabs Aja's jersey and then Aja shoves her off and hits the deck, it's an offensive foul. It's an offensive foul. Even if it's given as a transition take foul, anything to stop the clock. She did. She fouled. You want her to foul in that scenario. When you're up by 3, you want her to foul. It is scary. It is annoying. It is annoying that Kelly Krauskopf and Amber Cox have put together this team. And it's annoying Stephanie White just keeps doing this. She keeps doing it. How many times are they going to have to lose a game in the clutch or have a game get sent to overtime? This feels like the first time they've well and truly lost it. There have been games where where they've conceded, but then Caitlin Clark went and bailed them out against Washington. They conceded against Chicago up 3. Caitlin Clark bailed them out in overtime. Even then when they conceded against Washington, the first time Caitlin Clark bailed them out with a fadeaway game-tying 3. Unironically, they haven't been punished for this so far because every single time Caitlin has bailed them out. Unfortunately, Caitlin did the opposite of bail them out this time because she threw it away. But every single time she makes this mistake, Caitlin bails them out. And unfortunately, yesterday, Caitlin was not able to bail Stephanie White out again. But Steph needs to just stop doing this. She needs to stop doing this. And it is horrendous. It's horrendous coaching when, based on every metric, every eye test, the eye test tells you it doesn't work. The metrics tell you over the course of a season that subbing Caitlin Clark for defense doesn't work. And also, given the fact that, I'm going to be real here, in clutch situations, teams normally shoot below their averages. Teams seem to score every single clutch possession on the Indiana Fever. Every single one. Other than when the Atlanta Dream choked in the playoffs last year, this season and last season, teams scored on every single clutch possession against your team. Because you keep taking out, again, I'm not saying Caitlin Clark is a brilliant defender. She's the best of a bad bunch. But you keep taking out your best defender. Your best defender for clutch possessions. It is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, it's just Stephanie White. Look, I don't think she's a championship coach. I think this is a dynasty starts without you. I think she's a much better coach than Chrissy Sides. To give her credit for that, I think she's a real coach. She's a decent coach. I think you need a Becky Hammon, you need a Cheryl Reeve, to win a title, or you need to have a team that's so much better than everybody else, like the New York Liberty with Sandy Brandello, who's not a championship coach either. You need one of them. And I just don't. She's just not it. And I don't know where you find it because you're not prying either of them out of their teams. Yeah. Sides has locker room, so does Stephanie. I have no doubt about it. Stephanie has locker room, but still, she's got to stop doing this.